Welcome back to Let's Make a Game, a channel about making computer role-playing games using the free program Twine and the Sugarcube format for Twine. In this video, I would like to continue talking about my current project of coding an activation-based combat system. More specifically, I'd like to talk about the one passage that I've coded but haven't yet talked about, which is this one here, next CHAR, which of course is short for next character. And this passage deals with the case where a character has attempted a certain number of activations. Some have succeeded, some have failed, or perhaps they've all succeeded or all failed. If there's any successes, that character has used up their actions, and now it's time for another character to have a go. And which character gets a go depends on the situation. You might remember that if a character rolls two failures, two failed activations, then the initiative passes to the other side. So let's say you have 4 player characters. Let's say character 1 makes 2 attempts at activations, and let's say they both fail. Well, then the initiative will pass to the enemies, meaning that player characters 2, 3, and 4 don't get their go. And that is the penalty that can happen if you try to attempt too many activations. And of course we need to have that, because otherwise you would always choose the maximum number of attempts, which is currently 3, because of course more potential actions is better. So we need to have some sort of possible disaster that can happen if you try for too many activations. But we, of course, need code to make all that happen, and that's all in next CHAR. So let's open that up. Now you'll remember that we keep track of successes and failures in 2 variables which are literally called $successes and $failures, which makes it easier to follow the code. So the first possibility, we have this if, else structure. The first possibility is that failures is greater than 1. And if that's the case, then we include new round. I won't go through new round line by line because we've dealt with it in a previous video, but what it does is it moves the initiative to a new side. So it sort of resets everything, changes the variable acting _ side, and changes the variable acting _ CHAR to 1, and sort of resets for the other side to have a go. If that's not the case, well, perhaps acting _ side is equal to 1, meaning the player characters are acting, and the acting _ CHAR, meaning which character in that side is acting, is equal to $PCS, which stands for player characters, the number of player characters. Currently, this is 4 in the example that we're using. So that means that it's the player characters go, and the last player character has just had their action. Well, if that's the case, we also need to change the sides, because everyone on that side has had a go, so we go to new round. And if that's not the case, perhaps the acting side is equal to 2, meaning that the enemies are acting. We haven't yet coded the enemy actions, but I'm sort of setting it up to allow for the enemy actions once we do code it. But if acting side equals 2 and the acting character is equal to $NMES, which of course stands for enemies, the number of enemies. In the example we're using, it's 1, but it can be any other number. So this line here is the equivalent of this one. This else if covers the possibility that all of the player characters have had their go. This one covers the possibility that all of the enemies have had their go. And if that's the case, well, we also need to change which side is acting. So if none of those are the case, then that means that a character is acting. They haven't had at least 2 failures, meaning the initiative doesn't change sides, and the character that was acting isn't the last character to go on their side. So what then has to happen is that we need to have the next character on the same side go. And the way we do that is very simple. We add 1 to acting_char, which stands for acting character. And then we include PC display and include display, which just means that we set up the text that says it is Thrud the Barbarian's turn to act, and gives those buttons allowing the player to choose to attempt 1, 2, or 3 activations. Now, this is not what should happen if the enemies are acting, because of course the player doesn't choose what the enemy does, the computer should choose that, but that is something that we will deal with in a future video. So that's about all we have time for now. I will leave it there. I hope that was useful or interesting to some of you, and I hope you will tune in next time.